Hello and welcome to our new video on qualified dependents in US taxes. Whether you are a new parent, a caregiver, or a student, understanding the rules for qualified dependents is important when it comes to filing your taxes. In this video, we will provide a comprehensive overview of qualified dependents, including who qualifies as a dependent, what benefits you can receive, and how to claim them on your tax return. So, first let's define what a dependent is. A dependent is someone who relies on you for financial support. So, number one, who relies on you for financial support. If you are providing a financial support to someone, he is your dependent. Okay, and can be claimed on and that dependent can be claimed on your tax return to reduce your taxable income. IRS has specific requirements for who qualifies as a dependent, and they include, so let's open our, I have made a Word document. Here it is. So in the context of USA taxes, a qualified child refers to a child who meets certain criteria that make them eligible for certain benefits such as child tax credit, the dependent care credit, and the earned income credit. So there are four tests for qualified child. If any child fulfill these four tests, he will be a qualified child. So first is relationship. The child must be taxpayer's son, daughter, stepchild, foster child, brother, sister. Stepbrother, stepsister, half brother, half sister, or descendant of any of them. It is important to note that the age of taxpayer must be higher than the dependents. It means that whenever you claim a child, for example, if you claim brother or sister as your dependent, their age must be low than you. They must be younger than you. Next is the age. First is relationship. That child must be taxpayer, son, daughter, stepchild, foster child, brother, sister, stepbrother, stepsister, half brother, half sister, or descendant of any of them. Second test is the child age. The child must be under the age of 19 at the end of the tax year, for which year you are filing your tax, or under the age of 24 if they are full-time student. On the other hand, the child can be any age if they are permanently disabled. Okay, so age, your dependent must be 19 year of age, and if he is going to college, his or her age must be 24 or less, and if the child is permanently disabled, there is no age limit for that child. Number third test is residency. The child must have lived with the taxpayer for more than half of the tax year. But there are some exemptions. If your child is out of home for study purposes or illness, you can claim them as a dependent. Exemptions: illness. If your child is ill and he was not present for half year in your home, you can claim it as a dependent. Next is for study purposes. If he is out of home and not came to home for 6 months or a larger time, for extended period of time, so you can claim them on your return. Last tax test is sport. What kind of sports you are giving to your child? The child must not have provided more than half of their own support during the tax year. Means they don't bear their own 50% expenditure expenses. You can claim them on your tax bill. Okay. So next, these four are tests for qualified child. If a child fulfill them, you can take them as a dependent on Form 1040. First is relationship, second is age, and third is residency, and fourth one is sport. Qualified relatives. In US tax law, a qualified relative refers to a family member who may be claimed as a dependent on taxpayer returns. The Internal Revenue Service defines a qualified relative as someone who meets the following criteria. First one is relationship. That person to whom you are claiming on your tax return as your dependent must be your child or stepchild or sibling or step sibling, parent or ancestor, grandchild or any other descendant, including step parents, grandparents or other direct ancestors, in-laws including father-in-laws, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law of taxpayer's spouse. So this is the first test. Any relative under this criteria, you can claim them as a dependent. Second is the person must have lived with the taxpayer for the entire year to be related to the taxpayer and not earn more than $4,300 as per 2021 in gross income from the year. So residency means that person as child dependent, relative dependent must live with you for 6 months and he don't earn 4,300 US dollars. Third test is sport. As we saw in child criteria, in relative criteria it's almost same, completely same, sorry. The person must not provide more than half of their own sports for the years. So once you determined that some qualifies as your dependent, there are several tax benefits you can receive. First one is a exemption. Here we'll write it. You can claim exemption for each qualifying dependent, which can reduce your taxable income. Second one is child tax credit. Child tax credit. If you have a qualifying child, you may be eligible for the child tax credit, which can provide a credit of up to $2,000. $2,000. After that is $2,000 per child. Next is, and of course, $500 for qualified relative. Next one is earned income tax credit. Earned income tax credit. If you have a low to moderate income and a qualified dependent, you may be eligible for earned income tax, which can provide a credit of up to 6,728 for the tax year 2021. So next one is how to claim your dependents on your tax return. So move towards our IRS website. Here is search bar. I'll search here Form 1040. Search for 1040. Here it is, Form 1040. You can download it in next videos. I will show you downloaded form. So here is single Johnson. John लिख लें. After that is the social security number. He don't have spouse, he is single, so it will be left blank. After that his home address, street number 1, apartment number 1, city town CCC, C state S, zip code 2, and if he is US citizen and living for business purposes on in another country, he will write the name of that country here, and in which province of that country he is living he will write here. After that is foreign postal code, he will write here. After that, presidential election campaign, if he or his spouse want to donate $3, they can check here. After that is digital assets, so yes or no, if you have any digital asset, virtual currency, cryptocurrency, you can write here. After that, here is dependent. So this is uh, this is the place where you write dependents. If you have a child, you will write here, for example, Joe. Social security number of that independent, qualified independent, which for which we have studied the criteria who is qualified dependent. So here we will write social security number of that dependent. Here we will write relationship to you, his son of John, Joe is son of John. So here we will check child tax credit, which is about $2,000. So to claim your dependent on your tax return, you will need to provide their social security number. Here it is, and other information such as relationship. So this is the relationship, his son, and their income. If they have income more than 4,300 US dollars, you cannot claim them as dependent. So you can claim your dependents on tax return using form 1040 or 1040A. Hope so. I am clear with dependents. I have so I'll repeat here again. Qualified child, 4 tests, relationship, age 19, 24 if he is going to college, or permanently disabled, no age limit. Residency, he must live with you for 6 months. Sports, he will not bear 50% of his expenses. Similar cases with qualified relatives in laws, parents, grandparents, step parents, stepbrother, sister, everyone who is not fit in qualified child, you can claim them as a qualified relatives. Residency, 6 months in your home. Sport, they must not support them 50% of their expenses. So I hope so. If you have any question, you can leave them below in the comments. I will try to explain it in next videos or in comments. Thank you so much. Take care.